Hey everyone, great to talk with you today, Tuesday. It was fun to see you last night at the Zoom. You guys were heavily involved. When I left, I think about half of you had gotten thread through a needle, the other half had not. I couldn't handle it, it was getting me stressed, so I had to click out. But anyway, I know you got it done. I've seen some of the finished product, that's been fun. Catherine gave me her win for the day because she completed her embroidery. That was pretty cool. So it was fun to see you all day yesterday in your composition and in your Zoom activity last night. All right, I'm going to jump back and forth a couple between two things today. Yesterday, I asked you to send me how or why my son Brady won in his basketball workout on Saturday. And as you recall, there were many obstacles that he was kind of fighting through. But in that, he still said, I'm going to win. Even if there's 3 against 1, obstacles have the advantage. I'm still going to win. And I asked you how or why he could make that statement. I really got some amazing input back from you. And I want to start with that today because I just thought it was such a highlight from yesterday's material. And you guys really responded, and I appreciate it. Maddie said his determination overrides the obstacle. That's a win. Life is full of those obstacles, but when our heart is full of determination, it overrides the obstacle. And when we do that, many times, multiple times a day, we win. Aaliyah said his optimism was key. Successfully every day in optimistic approach. So when we have an optimistic approach, it allows us to get a win. Does that mean optimism equals perfection in the day? No. Optimism helps us navigate the imperfection of a day. Great input, Aaliyah. Lizzie said he was confident in his ability. Confident in his ability. I thought that was a cool word. Confident. You know, confidence is earned. You just don't get it. Now, some people kind of put off this persona that they have it, but confidence is earned. It's not just a right. You have to put in the work to develop confidence. Now, there are some personality types that are just prone to be a little more confident. I understand that. But true confidence, the ability to execute under pressure, that kind of confidence is earned. And I love that word. Trinity said it was about having a good time. Oh, no, it was work. No, just have fun. Enjoy it. Have a good time. You determine if you win. You and your mindset, she said. What a great thought. You're in total control of the outcome of winning. That's what she said. The bugs, the heat, the sun, the thorn in the ball, they didn't get to control the outcome. Brady got to control the outcome, and he chose to make it a winning circumstance. Leslie said it was his love that made him want to put in the work. His love for the game made him want to put in the work. If it stirs your heart, you're going to find a way to make your hands and feet get the job done. That was a crucial input to make it a win. If you're doing what makes you happy, no one can tell you you're not successful. The love of the game, if it makes you feel good, if you're happy doing it, those are wins in everything that you do. Great insight. Joanna said it was because he believed and was willing. Those two words together actually are the solution. To believe something's cool. To be willing to put that belief into action is where the win comes together. So, man, I loved your insights. Great job. It's funny, we mentioned we're not watering down winning. We're actually adding depth and breadth to make it more complex, more deep, more fulfilling. And that's what you did in your input yesterday. Man, I'm so proud of you. Great job. If you have any other thoughts, send them my way. If you have a win for the day, I got about another 7 or 8 yesterday. Send them my way. I've been keeping a journal. I'm going to send those journal entries to you this weekend in your packet. So look forward to reading all the things that we have attributed wins. We're doing a lot of winning, by the way, because you're telling me and I'm documenting it. All right, a couple academic highlights. Composition yesterday. It was very intriguing. Some of your wins had to do with writing. Some of the ways you were responding to Kim and your input back to her, I could tell some of you really, really enjoy writing. And this is giving you this week an opportunity to kind of grow that side of what you love to do. I heard today in the video, as I watched Kim's video, she talked about the different types of writing. She's kind of giving you options. You pick up the one that kind of stirs your heart and motivates you. I like that she gave you those options. Have fun with that. I also enjoyed hearing the poetry challenge process that she kind of talked you through, and that paper that she showed with all the different ideas and how it kind of formulated. That's the winning process. I thought today you've seen a picture of maybe a writer sitting or a musician sitting trying to write a song, and they're in a couch or a chair or something, and all this paper all around them on the floors. They wrote and wrinkled it up and threw it down. All those papers are wins. That's the process. And that's writing is giving you that opportunity to work out what you potentially love to do. One of my favorite truth communicators right now that I'm kind of following and really feeding off of his mindset and a lot of things, he says about himself, I make things with words. I love that. Words are huge in your ability to put them together in a way to communicate what's in your heart. That's what you're learning this week in composition, so have fun with it. Your Spanish recordings, if you're in Spanish, they were great today as well. I watched them with Mr. Witt, and he did a great job of really, he doesn't ever just push through something. He's very intentional. He has great review. There's a different ways he tries to communicate and compare. He's doing a great job. I hope you're putting your whole heart into it. And then I look forward to seeing all of you tomorrow in our seminar classes on Wednesday, okay? All right, here's our question for the day, and then I'm wrapping up. Our win today question is, in what way did I experience a setback in my day? I don't want to talk about a setback. When we do, we win. By asking this important question, we facilitate honesty, which is vital for growth. To be a winner, you will have to be honest. And when honesty comes, growth is right on its heels. Man, I'm proud of you. Stay with it. Middle of the week, pushing right up on us. Have fun. Look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Hey, happy Tuesday. First of all, you guys were cracking me up last night during the embroidery. I just really loved watching you all try to thread the needle. You did better than I did because I never got my needle threaded. Ashley did it for me. And some of you have already sent me your finished product, which just made my heart smile. So please send me your finished product. I've been sharing them with Joe, and that has just made her really happy. Tonight on the calendar, it says that we're playing charades. I still want to make that happen, but I have not figured out yet how to tell you what you need to act out without everybody else seeing it or hearing it. And I could type it in the group chat, however, then everyone can see it. And if I text you, most of you do the stuff from your phone. And I can message you ahead of time. Ashley, what are you trying to say?
I thought you can message somebody specifically in the group on that chat.
I don't know if you can do that or not.
I'm almost positive you can.
Okay, well, if I can figure out how to do that, then we're going to play charades. It's really funny. Ashley's playing charades, trying to tell me what to tell you guys. And all she was doing was... So if you could figure out what that would have meant, then you're going to rock at this. Y'all, she's crazy. I think it's International Best Friends Day or something like that. I think. I actually literally just saw that before I started recording this. So find a friend like Ashley. You'll want her for life, and then whenever you think about them not being around, you'll get sad. Find that person. But hopefully charades tonight, and if not charades, I have a backup plan. The Fun Faces contest, it's going strong. I got 2 Fun Faces entries yesterday that truly made me laugh out loud. Like both of them made me literally LOL. Not just like, haha, that's funny, LOL, but like I laughed out loud. Love those responses. We don't yet have a more serious, inspiring entry though yet. Just saying. Speaking of our phone face contest, I think you all are going to be very pleasantly surprised this upcoming Saturday with some new faces. You know what I'm saying? I think you're in for it. Work study. Despite my best efforts to communicate to you all your true need to get things done for work study, some of you still haven't done that. Several of you have not made your appointment with Harley. Some of you have still not turned in your resume. You have another assignment due Friday. You really, really have to do that. Don't ignore Mariah. Only one, because that's an assignment, but also there's far more money tied to work study than any of your other classes combined. So it's kind of like treating it like a job. You show up, you do your work, you do what's asked of you, and then that's it. So please, please, please don't abandon that class. You'll regret it later when some of your other Upward Bound peers get hundreds of dollars and you don't. So make sure you stay on top. Also, I just wanted to remind you that Harley, of course, is doing your seminar classes and she has the counseling opportunities, but she also has the counseling group that she's leading that I know several of you are involved in, and I love that. So if you're ever interested in being in that counseling group, which is Harley, usually Kesley, some of you are familiar with who Kesley is, she's awesome, and some of your peers, just email Harley and she'll share the link with you. Your habit tracker victories. Some of you have been updating me on your progress with your habit tracker, and you get so excited when you accomplish things every single day. And I just want you to know that that truly makes my heart happy. There's something really empowering about setting goals for yourself and knowing that you possess the discipline to do something. I was like rocking at that during quarantine, and then Summer Academy has just really thrown me for a loop because my whole life has become Summer Academy. So knowing how disciplined you all are is just really encouraging to me. I also think that there's a lot to be said about young people being capable. I think a lot of people give youth this reputation for just being lazy or not having discipline and critical thinking skills, and they are always on their phones or on Netflix or video games, and I just want to set them straight, and I just love telling other people about how awesome my teenagers are, and it's just really encouraging. So thank you. Another thing, speaking of teenagers and youth, I just want to take a second to talk about the season of life that we're in and processing everything going on in the news. I am a total empath. I soak up other people's emotions oftentimes like a sponge, and I have to be really careful about that. So the past couple of weeks, even being on social media, on my own account or even the Upward Bound account, it can just be like so heartbreaking, and people are just so, well, sad and depressing because there's so many evils in the world. And then people who are just so hateful or just ignorant, and they don't. There's just so much stuff that me, as a very empathetic person, but also a very justice-oriented person, it weighs on my heart and spirit. And I pay attention to your all's voices, and I for sure look at like your Insta stories a lot of the time. And I think you guys are also feeling that sadness, that anger, that frustration, that bewilderment, that fury, sometimes that hopelessness. And I don't ever want to dissuade you from feeling that way. Most of you are not even voting age, but I want you to know that your voice and your opinion matters so much. And I actually really love that you guys are sharing your thoughts and sharing your emotions and articulating these things. And there's just a lot of power in having a voice. And there's also, America is definitely not perfect whatsoever. I think we all can agree with that. I will, though, say that I'm thankful to live in a place where we can passionately, unwaveringly vocalize our thoughts and our opinions. In high school, my whole life I've been a total nerd, but in high school I watched the news all the time, and I went to rallies and protests, and even as a high school student, I wrote letters to government officials, and I wrote letters to my congressmen, like senators, governor, local people, about my thoughts all the time. I actually ended up in high school on Fox News. They read a letter that I wrote one time. Fascinating times in my life, but that's good. Even if I don't agree with you, I think a lot of you I do, but even if I don't agree with you, you have a voice. You young people, you have a very strong voice, and I never want you to feel timid to use it. I very much want you all to be able to learn how to articulate your thoughts and learn how to hear other people's opinions who disagree with you. And I want you to hear how to listen and not just how to listen to respond. And there are so many things that I truly want you to have as a skill set for a person. And I also want you to learn how to guard your heart and know the things that you can and cannot do. If I could wave a wand and fix all of the racial issues in our country and the social inequalities and disparities and the health disparities and do all of these things, I could. But I can't. But what I can do is be the director of Upward Bound and get to work with brilliant young people who really are our future. And that's another thing. Upward Bound is a federally funded program. So every single thing that we do, when you guys say that you love us and we help you out so much and we help you just get through high school and get on to college, everything we do comes from the government. But it is, to me, one of the best things that we can do to help some of these disparities is to help education. And the majority of students, not only in our Upward Bound, but in Upward Bounds across the United States, are minorities. And I love that. And to me, education is so much the answer. And it's not the whole answer, but it is a huge part of what we can do to just better the world. And so I may not be able to change everything, but making sure that you all know what it means to think critically and to communicate honestly and compassionately and to have your voice and to be able to hear other people, that is important. And it's important for you to harness those skills and to pay attention to them and to learn what it's like to live in a world where not everyone's going to agree with you, but you can still live in it and have a place in it. One of my big, I think, projects for myself in all of this, I have to think about what I can and cannot control. You can only control yourself and how you respond. And so for me, and all of the situations that I have in the world and with how things are going, I want to use my voice. So for me, I'm going to be writing letters to my congressmen and my senators and the president, and I want to thank them for programs like Upward Bound that focus on fixing the problem. And I want to vocalize some of my thoughts on things that I think need to be done to change and things that I think in our country really need to remain the same. And that is my right. It's also your right to do that too. It's your right to write. And I love that. You're in composition this week. And it definitely is not one of your assignments. But I don't want this season in life, this crisis that we're in, to pass by and you be in Upward Bound and not think that we don't do anything about it. Because as a staff, that is our job to do something about it. On individual levels, we're doing things about it. And I want to encourage you all that you can do things about whatever injustices you see. Not just racial injustices. There are a lot of things in our world that could be a little bit better. But people have to vocalize like, hey, I think that this is a problem and I'd like for it to be addressed. And I just want you all to start feeling empowered in that way, that you do have a voice. And so if that's something that you ever want to talk about or process, feel free to talk to us about that. I think I can speak legitimately on behalf of Linnell, Hannah, Scott, and myself, and Ashel, and saying that you all are remarkable. And if the future of the world were in our students' hands, especially after all the Win Today posts and things that you guys are sending Scott, and just your desire to better your own future, that's why you're in Upward Bound, I would feel a lot more confident. So I want you to just keep advocating for yourself and your future, and advocating for those around you, and not shying away from hard conversations, and learning to love people, and to seek justice, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly. It's just really important. Anyway, I can feel that I'm starting to get emotional because I really care about stuff like this, and I really care about you. And 20, 30 years from now, I'm going to care about the students that I'm working with who may be your kids. It's terrifying. But it just matters. All of these things matter. Anyway, that's all for me today. Love you guys.